His Worship the Mayor, first citizen of the Borough of Chaguanas, Mr. Gopal Budan, the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Roodal Moonilal, Member of Parliament for Chaguanas East and Minister of Transport, Mr. Stephen Cadiz, members of the Board of Directors of the HDC, Managing Director and Chairman of UDICOT, Ms. Geraldine John, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to you. And again, let me apologize for the late start this morning, but the traffic this morning was quite horrendous. It took me more than an hour to travel from San Fernando to Chaguanas. I know that some of you were here since 7 this morning, just eagerly awaiting your keys, and you are the lucky persons today. We are already in the last month of 2014, so I take this opportunity to wish you season greetings. I trust it's also not too early for me to wish you and your family the best for the new year 2015. I want to say that 2015 will be a very exciting year for all of us in Trinidad and Tobago, especially you new home owners, because you will herald the new year in your new home. This year, the HDC rally got off to a quick start and continuing its mandate with respect to improving systems and processes and our service to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. This key distribution ceremony is symbolic on various levels. Obviously, it represents the start of a sustainable and healthy community in Egypt Village, Chaguanas. We also see it as an opportunity to demonstrate what we have set out to achieve. As a state agency responsible for providing affordable and quality housing units, our focus is making HDC the best company in the world. It may sound as a lofty goal, but it is achievable with tough, consistent, and adaptive measures. As a state agency, we are not a competitor in the housing market. However, in enabling a path to home ownership, we're in competition with ourselves to become a markedly improved version of what we see in the mirror. Like many of you, we have our own resolutions, our own introspections. However, our resolve to deliver greater quality products, to implement and maintain processes that ensure high quality control, and to be a strict stickler for efficiency and excellence, especially when it comes to monitoring projects every step of the way. We continue to inform and guide everything we do. During the course of 2014, we took an honest look at areas that required improvement, and we continued on that drive to ensure that we achieve the transformation that we are seeking. You may have read some of our initiatives in the news recently, as our Managing Director, Mrs. Geraldine John, has been very transparent with the media about acknowledging where the corporation required improvement and noting measures that we have already been implemented to ensure organizational change. The HDC is on a mission to create real communities and comfortable living spaces. And I'm sure when you look around here, you will see the land area for your homes. They're close to between 4,000 and 5,000 square feet. It's one of the best developments that the HDC has undertaken for years. We want homeowners to be proud of their new homes. This is our blueprint for progress. We are on a mission to ensure that quality standards are closely observed and adhered to. We are on a mission to prove that we can indeed achieve the transformational goals that we have established for ourselves. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is very much committed to not just providing housing, but also quality housing. And this is a mandate that we take seriously. And I'm sure that when you drive around Trinidad, and you see some of the older HTC developments, and you see Oasis, you will note the great difference. And you are really, really the lucky ones to have come into the era when HTC has really lifted their standards. And we hope that when you live here, you will maintain the standards which we have set. The Chaguanas area remains one of the priority areas for construction of new homes over the next year, with a phased basis of a total of 743 units will be ready for citizens within the Oasis Greens Egypt Village Chaguanas. And I say 743 because Mr. Cadiz was pleasantly surprised this morning when he spoke to Mr. Chedi, who told him that there were 500 units. And with the snap of a finger, that miraculously improved to 743. But that's how the HTC move. At the snap of a finger, we improve the numbers. And for those of you who do not collect keys today, I want to tell you, do not be disheartened. This is just the first phase. The first phase, phase 1, comprises 171 single-family units. Phase 2, a total of 227 units, comprising 15 single-family units and 212 townhouses, duplex units. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that there's a new trend developing throughout the world. A lot of people come and they ask for single-family units. But then they find out that the maintenance to maintain your yard and gardens and whatnot is a lot. And throughout the world, because of land space and whatnot, people are going into townhouses and duplexes. And it really calls for a cultural shift in your thinking. So when you are offered a townhouse or duplex, know that you're moving into the modern world. Phase 3, another 139 single-family units. Phase 4, a total of 206 units, comprising 45 single-family and 161 townhouse units. As we continue through the phase of community development, we have assured that reliable contractors with efficient track record are hired and that they deliver quality, structurally sound homes. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the contractors on this site, Ramhit and Sons, and the 3 sons are here this morning, following in the proud tradition set by their father. And these contractors have gone even further than just building homes. They are continuing to have conversations with us as to how to improve the sites. So let me take this opportunity to congratulate the contractors, Ramhit and Sons, and to assure them, because of the good work that they have done here, they are in the line to get more work. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we are offering here today to you in Oasis Village. You heard Mr. Chedi said earlier that the plumbing fixtures will be installed very shortly. And I know that the contractors will work day and night to ensure that by Christmas, all these fixtures are in place. So we could pass around here and smell the turkey, the ham, the black cake, sponge cake, sorrel, and whatever else you may call to offer us. So let me take this opportunity again to congratulate each and every one of you. I know the wait has been quite long. Recently, somebody came to me and told me that they were waiting 10 years for a house. And I told them, I said, you're trying to rush the system because people are waiting for 25 years. We at the HTC feel that in our second term, the government's second term, we will reduce this waiting gap, and the 200 and change thousand people who are waiting for houses in the next 5 years, we'll bring down that as close as possible to zero.
A very warm welcome to all you new people coming into Chaguanas East. I am pretty sure that from today you're going to be experiencing a whole new life, and a wonderful life it is going to be here in Chaguanas East. Of course, let me acknowledge first Dr. Roodal Moonilal, my cabinet colleague, and of course Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the man who is the thrust behind all new public housing in Trinidad and Tobago. His Worship the Mayor of Chaguanas, Senator and the Vice President of the Senate, Mr. James Lambert, and a director, and let me acknowledge all the other directors and executives of the HDC. Chairman, Mr. Roodal Moonilal, who you just heard, Ms. Jerlene John, Managing Director of the HDC, and of course, as everybody knows, Ms. John is a person that you have to put on your running shoes to keep up with Ms. John. Distinguished guests, and of course, the most important people here today, the recipients of the keys to this absolutely beautiful development, the Oasis development here in Chaguanas East. As a member of Parliament for Chaguanas East, I must say I stand here extremely proud of what, not only this development, but what we've been able to do in Chaguanas East over the last 4.5 years. And I want us to constantly remind ourselves of what this People's Partnership government, when we set out in May 2010, what we set out to do and what we've been able to accomplish. Because a lot of times we listen to all the noise without really and truly saying, but hold on a second, this place has changed. You know, the last time I passed here, I didn't see this, I didn't see that. And therefore, the only time that can happen is when you have a government in office that is really and truly serious about the development of people and serious about the quality of life of all the citizens of this country. And today at the Oasis development here, we are going to experience that. You're going to see one of the finest public housing developments throughout Trinidad and Tobago, or any part of Trinidad and Tobago that was ever built. And public housing in Trinidad and Tobago has been there for decades. And yet still, what we see here today is really and truly a shining example of what public housing should be. And what, when you have a government who is serious about public housing, that we're building housing to last, we're building housing where you can create a family life. This is not just a roof over your head. This is an entire experience here at the Oasis. And I'm very proud and glad that the decision was taken to start off one of Trinidad and Tobago's best housing developments in my constituency, Chaguanas East. So Dr. Moonilal, I really want to thank you for that. For those of you who are going to be living in the Oasis, you're going to be living in a borough very soon. Not a borough, sorry, a city very soon. All right. Chaguanas, in case you didn't know, Chaguanas is the fastest growing, fastest development areas in Trinidad and Tobago. The borough of Chaguanas has over 110,000 people living within the borough. And this will form part of the borough and soon to be the city of Chaguanas. So again, that is something that is going to be new for you. Right here, as you drove in, for those of you who looked, as you came off the main road, you looked at a cricket ground. That is the Avidesh Samaru ground. That is the best cricket field outside of the Queen's Park Oval, right here in Central. And that was done and redone by the People's Partnership government coming into office in May 2010. The access to this property, we're going to have a new, because one of the things that we have done in Chaguanas East is to look at all the infrastructure. How do we get into Chaguanas East? How do we get out of Chaguanas East? Where do we go to school in Chaguanas East? Flooding issues. When we were elected in May 2010, that same week, I don't know if you all remember, Prime Minister, the day after we were elected, Prime Minister donned her tall top boots to go and deal with flooding. And part of the flooding was actually in Chaguanas East. With all the rains that we had recently and the heavy, bad weather, there was not a single house that I am aware of in Chaguanas East that was flooded. Why? Because we took the bull by the horns and dealt with the issues of flooding in Chaguanas East by creating better watercourses, cleaning out all the watercourses. And again, I want to keep on reminding ourselves of what good governance is. That is what good governance is. I call it kitchen cupboard politics. Because if you cannot deal with the issues related to the kitchen cupboard or the kitchen table in your house, then don't come and tell me anything about government. I need to know that my family is safe in my house. I need to know I have a good house to live in. I need to know that I'm not going to be flooded out. I need to know that the access into my area, I'm not constantly sitting down in traffic. And all of that is what we have done here in Chaguanas East. Sugrim Trace, that is a road that is north of the Nagar that comes off of the highway. And that is going to take you literally 2 minutes for those of you who are coming from the north. 2 minutes to drive from the highway to get into the Oasis development. And that bridge is going to be open very soon. I was hoping that we would have had it for today. But as you know, Dr. Rambachan is very busy putting back in the Mayaro Road, which, by the way, after all that devastation in Mayaro, Dr. Rambachan calls me this week and says, Stephen, organize for your buses to run on the road by Tuesday coming. And that is what governance is about, looking after the interests of the people. New schools. We have an early childhood center right here that was already established before this development started. And from what I understand from Jerlene, we have another early childhood center that is going to be here. I'm sure that Dr. Moonilal will speak about that. Primary schools. We have a brand new primary school that is replacing the 56-year-old Endeavor Hindu School right in the back here. Brand new school. We just opened a state-of-the-art primary school on Esmeralda ground. That is in Enterprise. Chaguanas East will have, when we finish with it, I think 6, if not brand new, very new, and brand new primary schools. And it is going to be the only constituency that I know of in Trinidad and Tobago that is going to have that level of education. So, whether it is education, whether it is work, as you can see, this place is developing. You can actually live in Chaguanas. Your children can go to school in Chaguanas. You can work in Chaguanas. And that is the idea of good quality living. It's to have all of that within minutes of where you live. So I just want, again, I want to thank the HDC. I really and truly want to thank Dr. Roodal Moonilal for his foresight and vision for creating Trinidad and Tobago's finest public housing project. I want to congratulate Ms. Jerlene John for the work that she put in. Again, Jerlene is a lady that's very difficult to find because she's moving like a jet all over the place. All right, but again, if it was not for her hard work and the board of the HDC and of course the management and the executive of the HDC of making that happen. My last thing is, tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, we will be lighting Trinidad and Tobago's largest Christmas tree right here at what is known as the hydrant. When you come off the highway by Price Plaza, it is going to be a beautiful tree. Well, we haven't plugged it in as yet, so I hope it works. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's going to work. It is going to be a beautiful tree. And again, it is about us celebrating in Chaguanas East all festivals, all religions. So on behalf of all of us here in Chaguanas East and the constituency of Chaguanas East, I want to wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas. Of course, some of you here are going to have a better than Merry Christmas when you receive your keys. And really and truly look forward to seeing you in the new year and to working with you in keeping and making sure that the Oasis development is Trinidad and Tobago's finest public housing. Thank you very much.